Fox News Alert now on a new arrest linked to the Orlando nightclub massacre last summer. The widow of the gunman, Omar Mateen, arrested in California on charges of aiding and abetting a terror organization and obstruction of justice. Mateen pledged allegiance to ISIS during that standoff. He died in the rampage that left 49 innocent people dead. Joining us now, Jonna Spilbor, a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney. Also with us, Heather Hansen, a trial attorney. Now, during the investigation of these crimes, she said, Noor Salman, the woman who was arrested, she said, oh, my husband was abusive. He punched me in the belly when I was pregnant. I mean, she seemed to suggest that, it was a good thing that he was gone. Now she's been arrested. What do you make of it?
Well, she must have led the police astray because she had a choice in this matter. She didn't have to say anything if she were perhaps going to be held accountable for something as well criminally. But once you start opening your mouth, John, you got to either tell the truth or stop talking. So she probably, like I said, led them astray and didn't give them the full facts.
What does it take to bring an obstruction of justice charge?
Well, it could be any number of things. She could have lied after the investigation. They could have found out that she could have avoided the entire thing from happening and didn't stop it. The thing is, John, today with all of the electronic evidence that's available with text messages, cell phones, emails, I am sure that they built a great deal of evidence up against her in order to bring these charges. And remember, she could do life for the aiding and abetting the terrorism charge. Yeah, 49 people were killed in what the FBI director described as a terrorist act. The fact that she was married to him, he is deceased now.
Right.
Does she have any protection in terms of testifying against her husband?
Not really, and certainly because he's dead, there won't be a criminal trial against him. And you have to remember, Martha Stewart, the cover-up is worse than the crime. This is apples and oranges, but the point is the same. You can't cover up something to shield somebody else or yourself, but you can be quiet. She chose not to.
The chief of police in Orlando, John Mina, just put out a statement that reads in part, he says, I am glad to see that Omar Mateen's wife has been charged with aiding her husband in the commission of the brutal attack on the Pulse nightclub. Federal authorities have been working tirelessly on this case for more than 7 months, and we are grateful that they have seen to it that some measure of justice will be served in this act of terror. First of all, that's pretty unusual for a police chief to be applauding the arrest of somebody in an active investigation, but also it suggests that, he knows something that the rest of us don't.
Absolutely. It shows that they have a great deal of evidence. And really, everyone wants someone to be held accountable. If she had something to do with the death of these people, absolutely she should be held accountable. And it sounds as though, from the fact that he's making that statement, they have evidence to do just that.
So the feeling among the police is that he got off too easy. He died in that shootout with authorities when they raided the club after several hours.
Yeah, and I think what the authorities are doing now is sending a message, because that's the only way to truly attack ISIS. You can't just attack the people who are committing the crimes. You have to attack everybody on the purview who are helping it or allowing it to happen, and this is a good first step.
What if she just pleads, I was an innocent bystander, I was sort of unfamiliar with American ways, and he did all of this on his own?
I think she's going to have a really difficult time with that. I think the fact that, as that officer said, 7 months of investigation, I am sure that they have a great deal of evidence. They probably would have been able to bring these charges even if she had not spoken to police. But now that she's actually lied to them, they're really going to be going after her hard. And I don't think getting off by saying that I didn't know or he was beating me is going to do the defense.
The Clinton Global Initiative will